Hi, boys and girls. It's Mr. Yates and Miss Garcia again. We are here to go over the answers to the Spiral Math for Monday, April 6th. Miss Garcia is going to be starting with the odds, and I'll be working on the evens today. So go ahead, Miss Garcia.
All right, so for number 1, it says the tables show the height in centimeters each plant grew in a week. Assume the patterns continue. Choose the correct way to compare the growth in height of each plant. So you guys should have been looking at your, what's it called, your chart A and your chart B, and looking at your guys' height, which is going to be in the right-hand column. And so you want to be comparing and trying to find the pattern. And the pattern for this, boys and girls, the correct answer should have been your letter D. It says each day plant B, which is your chart B, was 3 times as tall as plant A. Careful, I almost said it was the letter A, but it's the letter D, because when you, just like Mr. Yates is kind of circling, so plant A was only 2 centimeters on day 2, and plant B was 6 centimeters. So in order for plant B, oh wait, no. Oh yeah, okay, yes. All the A's and B's, they're so like, so it should have been each day plant B was 3 times as tall as plant A, because 2 times 3 would give you your 6. 4 times 3 would give you 12. 6 times 3 would give you your 18. 8 times 3 is 24, and so on and so on. And for your guys' work, it can be your guys' work to figuring it out. And as long as you guys are just like Mr. Yates is doing. So your answer sentence should be each day plant B was 3 times as tall as plant A. And make sure you guys are writing that out and not just writing the letter D.
Exactly.
Because you're not going to know which one that was. So, all right, Mr. Yates, take it on. Number 2.
Okay, number 2, we're going to estimate the product. And boys and girls, the key phrase here is the word estimate. As we know, estimating means, and I'm trying to draw a circle, instead of actually just drawing a line. Estimate basically means that we're going to round it so it's easy for us to do in our head and still remain kind of accurate. When I estimate this, I could take 15 and 39 hundredths, or $15.39, and I'm going to say that that is about 15. When I multiply that by 5, I'm not going to round the 5 because I don't want to round it up to 10 because that's way too much. I could do 15 times 5 in my head. It's pretty easy math. I could do 75. $75. So what I would do here is I would go ahead and on my expression, I could say $15.39 times 5 is wavy equal sign, which means about, is about $75. And make sure, boys and girls, that you have used your work here. You show how you round it. If you did something like 10 times 5, that's a little too far away. If you did 15 times 10, maybe, but that's pretty far away. The best estimate is going to be 15 times 5 equals $75. All right, we're going to move on down to number 3.
All right, number 3 reads, Craig and Alyssa. When I was reading that, I was like, that is the most interesting way to spell Alyssa. I've never seen it spelled that way. Craig and Alyssa are building a sandcastle on the beach. They each have a bucket. Craig's bucket holds 1/2 pound of sand, and Alyssa's bucket holds 9/10 of a pound of sand. How much sand can Craig and Alyssa collect together at one time? So, boys and girls, in order to solve this out, you had to add these two together. So you had to add your 1/2 and your 9/10. And remember, when we add fractions, we always write them vertically, just so we can see everything and less room for mistakes. So when you guys add fractions, you have to make sure that our denominator is the same. Now, Mr. Yates, do you think our denominators are the same?
Oh, no, definitely not.
All right, so is how we fix that is We want to change our 2 to make it a 10. And it's how you do that. You have to multiply by 5. And what we do to the denominator, we have to do to the numerator. So we want to multiply our 1 and our 2 by 5. So your guys' new fraction should be 5/10. And then I usually just draw an arrow and move the 9/10 over just so everything is lined up. And then from there, you go ahead and you add them together. Now, boys and girls, remember, we do not add our denominators when we are adding our fractions. And for your numerator, you should get 14. So you should get 14 over 10. But boys and girls, remember, we want to be simplifying all of our fractions. And Mr. Yates, do you think that that is simplified?
No, this is an improper fraction, so I know right away that this needs to be simplified.
So boys and girls, is how we are going to simplify that is we're going to divide 14 by 10, and we're going to create a mixed number. And so when you guys divide that out, you should get 10 goes into 14 once. 14 minus 10 gives you 4. And so our whole number is going to be our 1. And our numerator is going to be our 4. And our denominator is going to be our 10. But boys and girls, be careful. You still have to simplify that 4/10. So we want to divide by 2. So what we do to the top, we have to do to the bottom. So you want to divide by 2 to both your 4 and your 10. And you should get, when you divide, you should get 2/5. So your guys' final answer should be 1 2/5. So for your guys' answer sentence, you should have written that Craig and Alyssa.
Oh, hold on one second, Ms. Garcia. I just want to get up there.
Oh, sorry.
Right. Go ahead.
Your answer sentence should read Craig and Alyssa, spelled with an I, not a Y, can collect £1 2/5 pounds of sand at one time.
Oops.
Oh, sorry. Perfect. And that concludes number 3.
Boys and girls, I'm going to move on down to number 4 right now. It's got 2 parts, so make sure that you are reading the part that it has 2 parts. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look. Adrian's lunch cost $13.16. She hands the cashier $20. About how much change does Adrian receive? Oh, Mr. Yates made a typo. How does she actually receive? Well, the word we actually should be using there, if I've been typing correctly, was how much does she actually receive? The key phrase here is actually. So we're going to be doing 2 parts today. We're going to look first at about how much change she does receive, and how much does she actually receive. So let's go ahead and I'll take a look at my word problem. I know that she gave the cashier a $20 bill, and she was giving the lunch was $13.16, which I could round to $13, and I'm going to get 7. So my estimate is, I'll say she, and I'd love you to write this down this way, I before E except after C. She received about, and make sure you write the word about in here. She received about $7. That's her first part. Now there's a second part about how much she actually received. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now take $20 and I'm going to subtract $13.16. And yes, I'm going to line them decimals up, and I'm going to add some zeros here to make sure that I am subtracting correctly. So what I'll do is I'll go across here. 10 minus 6 is 4. 9 minus 1 is 8. I'm going to drop down my decimal point. Still have another 9 here. 9 minus 3 is 6. Cross out this 1. So it becomes 1 minus 1 is 0. So now the actual amount she spent was $6.84, which isn't too far away from my estimate. And I'm going to write that down here. She actually, and I like how you use the word actually because that's what it said in the answer sentence. She actually received $6.84. And I'm going to make sure that I'm using a dollar sign and a period. All right, great job if you did an answer sentence, boys and girls, and also that you showed your work. Let's go on to number 5 now.
All righty, number 5 says round the fraction to 0, 1/2, or 1. So for this one, for your guys' answer sentence, a number sentence works as well. So you can just rewrite your 9/17, and then your squiggly equal sign, which means about, and then write your line for your answer. And for this one, boys and girls, I did a number line, just like we taught you guys to do in class. So on that number line, on the very left, I wrote 0. And then in the middle, I put 1/2. And then on the far right, I put 1. And then I calculated what 1/2 of 17 is, and I got 8.5 would be the equivalent to 1/2 of the of 7. Yes. So, and so I saw that 9 was a little bit bigger, like half a number, than 8.5. So I put my dot right next to the 1/2. And so I said that 9/17, based on my number line, is about 1/2.
Okay. All right, great. I'm going to clear this out. Take a look at number 6. A rectangular garden measures 15 by 30 feet. What is the total area in square yards of the garden? I'm going to go ahead and start up my answer sentence right now. So I'll put the total area of the garden is, and boys and girls, we've been talking about volume recently, and so it's very tempting to think that this is going to be cubic yards, like meaning that we have the little 3, but because they're talking about area, they're even telling you right here, square yards. So make sure that you use yards, and you can do y and a little question, or not a question mark, but a little exponent 2 to show that you have square yards. You can also do, oh, you know what, boys and girls? Mr. Yates made a copy error here. Make sure you put it the correct abbreviation, which is yards cubed, yards squared right there. So that's the correct way to do it. I almost made a copy error. All right, so I'm going to go over to here, and I'm going to now just do some quick math to show my work, how I figured it out. It says that the rectangular garden was 15 by 30 feet. I know that when I find area, I just have to find the length and the width, which they show me right here. 15 times 30 is going to be my area. I can actually use mental math here. 15 times 3 is 45. And I'm just going to add a 0. By doing that, I get 450. So the area of the garden is 450 square yards. Okay, Ms. Garcia, let's go move on down to number 7.
All right, number 7 says the length of one ribbon measures 17.5 inches. The length of the other ribbon measures 24 3/4 inches. How many inches in length are the ribbons if they are placed end to end? So boys and girls, for your answer sentence on this one, you should have The ribbons are blank inches when placed end to end. And make sure that you guys have in there the inches, because we want to make sure that we're labeling as to how long and the units of that ribbon is. So in order to figure out how long they are when they're placed end to end, that means that we are going to have to add. So make sure that when we add fractions, we are writing them vertically and lining everything up. So let's go ahead and write our 17 1/2, just like Mr. Yates is doing. And then 24 3/4. Make sure you guys are lining them up as best as you can. And make sure you guys do write your addition sign just to, avoid calculation errors. And so our very first step, boys and girls, is going to be to make sure that our denominators are the same. And Mr. Yates, are our denominators the same?
Indeed, they are not.
Correct. So we want to go ahead and turn our 1/2 into something that has the denominator of 4. So in order to do that, we have to multiply by 2. And what we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top, boys and girls. So when we multiply, we get 2/4. And then I just go ahead and draw an arrow that moves our 3/4 over, just so we can line everything up, just like so. And then I go ahead and add those together. And 2 plus 3 gives us 5/4, because remember, we do not add our denominators. Now, boys and girls, is that in simplest form? No. So we want to go ahead and simplify that, because that's an improper fraction. So we're going to go ahead and turn that into a mixed number by dividing 5 by 4. And then when you guys divide that out, 4 goes into 5 one time. And then 1 times 4 gives you 4, and 5 minus 4 gives you 1. So you should have gotten 1 1/4. Perfect. So then we go ahead and add our 17 and 24, which are our whole numbers. And 7 plus 4 is going to give us 11. And then 2 plus 1, and then the other one that we carried over is going to be 41. But boys and girls, don't forget to add your whole number 1 from our 1 1/4. So you guys should have gotten 42 1/4. And then go ahead and write that in on your guys' answer sentence, to where your answer sentence should read, the ribbons are 42 1/4 inches when placed end to end. And that concludes number 7. So Mr. Yates, finish her up.
All right, we're going to finish up with number 8. I'm using another piece of paper. I'm just going to make sure my answers are on one side and my work is on the other. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at number 8. List the numbers ordered from least to greatest. Well, what I'm going to do first is, these are pretty long numbers, so I think I might make them in a chart from least to greatest down here. What I want to do is I'm going to line up my numbers. I'm going to take 9,345,287, place it up on top. And boys and girls, I'm going to pause this video really quick because I have something I need to take care of really quick, and we'll be back in 1 second. Sorry, boys and girls, I just needed to reschedule my dentist appointment, but we're all better now. So let's go ahead and back to what I was doing. 9,345,287. I'm going to take and put 92,239,939. And I hope you line these up too, boys and girls. It just makes it a lot easier to see which ones are the most and the smallest. 87,623,176. And then I'm going to be carefully lining up this to make sure that I've got it. I've got 112,000,000 and 224,000 and 981. Now, as I look at these boys and girls, it's actually pretty clear which one is the greatest. It's going to be down here with 112,224,981. It's got the only one in the 100 millions place value, so that's obviously the biggest one. I'm also going to look over here, and it looks like the next biggest place value is the 9, so that's 92,239,939. So I'll cross that one out. Our next largest one is the 87,623,176. And our least, the last one that's left, is going to be 9,345,287. I'm very proud of you if you actually listed these out in order from least to greatest. Now, you could have done it the other way with the greatest on the bottom or the top and gone, or sideways, I mean. So either way is going to work, but just make sure they're in order from least to greatest, and you're good to go. All right, boys and girls, you did a great job. Make sure you fill out your Spiral Math survey to make sure that I know how you're doing on this Spiral Math. And as always, if you have any questions, please email Mr. Yates or Ms. Garcia, and we can help you through anything you're having trouble with. Thanks, boys and girls.